Now that the dust has settled, I think I'm finally allowed to talk smack about Dragon Ball sparkingzero. And don't get me wrong, I love this game. As someone who has been playing some of the best Dragon Ball games since childhood like Budokai Tenkaichi 2, Budokai 3, Super Dragon Ball Z, and of course Budokai Tenkaichi 3, I gotta say sparkingzero is probably up there for one of the best Dragon Ball games. The fighting mechanics, roster, and online custom battles alone make this an amazing addition to the Dragon Ball catalog. But as many people have pointed out, it's not without its flaws, mainly in the story mode department. Today, I want to point out some of the weaker points in sparkingzero, what they did to my boy, and how Dragon Ball sparkingzero failed Vegeta. Vegeta has been one of my favorite Dragon Ball characters since I was a kid. His demeanor, special moves, and arc has always been extremely moving to watch again and again. His journey through Z, GT, the movies, and Super have shown us the best character growth that anyone in Dragon Ball has had, counting many relationships, fights, and growth. From bad guy to anti-hero to hero, Vegeta has gone through a lot, and that includes internal conflict on top of fights on top of getting his ass kicked numerous times. With that being said, can you believe that in Vegeta's side of the sparkingzero story mode, he only has 22 fights? That's right, 22 fights across all of Z, Super, and What Ifs. 22. To put into perspective, Goku has around 50 fights in the totality of his sparkingzero story mode, including canon fights and What If stories. He's the character with the most fights, which makes sense, he's the main character and all, nothing wrong with that. But compared to the previously established 22 fights Vegeta has, holy shit, that is an astounding difference. So what happened? Are some of the fights not canon? Are they just not important enough? And I think the answer is just, they didn't care enough. Maybe they thought they would already be putting some of the same fights since, Goku and Vegeta fight alongside each other, or a lot of their fights are just against each other, so maybe they thought it would be the same thing, but I don't know, I don't buy it. I wouldn't mind fighting the same thing twice, cause you're fighting as a different character. I don't see it as the same thing. Let's examine the actual fights and how the story mode starts. What the fuck? Vegeta's story mode starts in the Namek saga. The fucking Namek saga. So no arriving on Earth, no fight against the Z Warriors, Goku, no grade 8 Vegeta, what? No, yeah, you're right, let's just start with the Kui fight. What a highlight. I get maybe why they skipped it. You saw Goku's side of the story from his story missions, including now the infamous grade 8 Vegeta fight. But god, it would have been so much fun having to fight Yajirobe, Krillin, Gohan, and Goku as Scouter Vegeta and grade 8 Vegeta. They're all in the game already, so what the hell? Going back to the Namek saga, we start the fight against Kui, then moving to Dodoria, Zarbon, and the Ginyu Force. Wait, where's the Dodoria fight? It's just a cutscene? No Goldo fight? What? Seriously? These are important fights that help Vegeta get strong enough to even get a slight chance against Frieza, and much needed training. Of course it doesn't really help. But still, these are essential fights that are primary to Vegeta's growth as a fighter and character, making the grand total of Namek fights to 4. No comment.
With a giant meteor!
After getting his ass beat to Frieza, we move on to the Android saga, where we finally get to see the story mode shine a little bit for Vegeta. We see the badass fight against Android 19 showing off Vegeta's new transformation. Sadly, no fight against Android 20, which wasn't much of a fight in canon, but hey, would have been cool just to fight him here. Afterwards, the fight against Android 18 ensues, and finally the Vegeta story mode gets interesting on our first splitting path, allowing us to defeat Android 18 and unlock a pretty cool what if that I quite like.
Too bad, little man.
What if Vegeta actually beat Cell? Vegeta and Trunks go into the hyperbolic time chamber, as the usual canon, except this time Vegeta is much stronger and confident in his abilities, even being able to defeat Super Trunks, showing him he has much training to do. Vegeta allows Trunks to train alongside him, strengthening their bond and making their training much more successful. Some events happen parallel to the canon events, like Vegeta allowing Cell to absorb 18, to achieve newfound power. Except this time, Trunks actually has faith in his father that he'll succeed.
But maybe father really is strong enough to take him.
The Cell games begin, and Vegeta fights Perfect Cell with all his might, almost being bested. He sees Trunks be defeated and fallen in battle, reawakening the Super Saiyan in him and putting up a hell of a fight. I love this what if. Not only it gives Vegeta the much needed limelight he craves, but it shows the bond that Vegeta and Trunks share, each of them learning how to deal with the other one but loving their family no matter what. Even sharing a father-son final flash. It's fucking awesome. It's a simple yet interesting twist on the main story, with a happy ending for everyone.
Let's go home. Mom's waiting for us.
Of course.
Going back to the main timeline, there are other what ifs in here, but really, they're just cutscenes showing Vegeta winning instead of losing. I can hardly call that a what if. And that's it. No fight against Cell Juniors. Totaling the fights in the Android and Cell saga to 7, including what ifs. Just onward to the Majin Buu saga, which starts rather nicely. The sparring match between Vegeta and Trunks, mentioning the amusement park promise, which I've always loved.
Cheers. I'll take you to the park, okay?
Oh, yeah!
Here we hit the second what if feature. What if Vegeta actually resisted Babidi's brainwashing? Here we see Vegeta shaking off the brainwashing from Babidi and going head to head with Dabura, the Demon King, quickly eliminating both of them, thus preventing the emergence of Majin Buu.
It's done! Majin Buu's container is destroyed.
Vegeta, still being obsessed with fighting Goku, drags him back to the tournament just to find out it ended. They hold a special fight just for Goku and Vegeta to duke it out, without using any special moves or ki blasts, so not to harm the audience. Pretty cool detail and makes that fight that much more intense.
This is it, Kakarot. Today I will prove who's the strongest Saiyan warrior of all.
It reminded me of when they fight in Dragon Ball Super Superhero, just using their skill and fists. Vegeta comes out on top, with Goku promising another rematch when Vegeta goes to the afterlife, not before showing his Super Saiyan 3, since he couldn't show it off at the fight, much to Vegeta's frustration. I think this is a very heartwarming what if. Vegeta defeats the bad guys and gets the fight with Goku that he wanted, all without succumbing to the darkness in his heart. I love this version of the story, which makes an excellent what if.
And I'll win then too, for I am #1.
Which jumps us to the end of the Majin Buu arc, with 2 fights against Kid Buu, and a short what if. What if Vegeta defeated Kid Buu? Which actually isn't about Kid Buu at all. It allows Vegeta to finally fight Goku in his Super Saiyan 3 form, which leads to probably the hardest fight in his campaign. It's fun and a cool little addition. Unfortunately, it's just sort of a downplayed version of the last what if I just mentioned, with less dialogue and less fanfare. Vegeta wins and Goku bows to train harder, then they go home.
But I have to say, you must be some kind of freak of nature, Kakarot.
I could almost say the same to you, Vegeta. Even in my Super Saiyan 3 form, I still lost. But what a match, huh?
Naturally after this, we get a cutscene and fight Beerus in the plains and on top of Bulma's cruise, one of the most iconic scenes from the Battle of the Gods arc. Wait, what do you mean it ends here? No Battle of the Gods? No Resurrection F? No Universe 6 tournament arc? No Zamasu? No Tournament of Power? What the fuck? Vegeta has some of the best moments in Super, and there's just nothing here. It's a disgrace to end it in the Buu saga, especially when almost half of Vegeta's fights are actually from Super. And don't tell me they didn't have the characters. Maybe sparkingzero is missing some of the smaller fights. But what about Beerus, Kaba, Hit, Goku Black, Zamasu, Bergamo, Toppa, Jiren? These are crucial fights that have become iconic in the Vegeta mythos, and yet they're all missing from the game. So much missed potential. Can you imagine all the Dragon Ball Super what ifs? What if Vegeta killed Golden Frieza? What if Vegeta directly trained Kaba? What if Vegeta had to fight Vegeta Black? What if Vegeta won the Tournament of Power? I could go on all day. What if Vegeta was short again? And what about all the potential what ifs in the Z saga? What if Vegeta arrived earlier on Earth? What if Vegeta turned Super Saiyan first? Really, the sky is the limit. And the fact that we got 2.5 what ifs? Yeah, I'm not really counting the Super Saiyan 3 fight because, come on, and only up to the Buu saga? My wishes aren't that far-fetched, and we've seen some of these what ifs I mentioned in games that are now 20 years old. God, it's not fun being a Vegeta fan sometimes, man. I could go on and comment about the lack of customization when it comes to the characters, but that's not really a Vegeta only problem. He has some different outfits, mainly destroyed armor and tattered clothes, 2 accessories from what I've seen. The Halo from the Majin Buu saga, and the Scouter from the Saiyan saga. Extremely underwhelming. Like, really? No Batman outfit? But I guess mods exist for a reason. Now please, don't think I think badly of the game. Sparkingzero shows just how much the developers cared about the franchise and how much they appreciated the little details. There are many instances like special throws, interactions, and nods to the fandom that I think they really care about the game. So what happened to Vegeta's story mode? Did they just run out of time? In the 6 or so years of development? I don't know. I guess at least I can hope they'll add some DLC in the future. They already announced DLC that does add Vegeta from Dragon Ball Daima, so I have hope they haven't totally forgotten about Vegeta, although the DLC is very much centered around Daima. But hey, they supported Xenoverse 2 for like 10 fucking years, so maybe there's a chance. Maybe Vegeta's super story will come as DLC. Do I believe that? Hell no. Will I cope until there's another Sparkingzero? You bet your ass. But until then, I guess we do have the custom battles to play through and create however many Vegeta what ifs we want. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. Check out some of my other videos and I promise there's more coming soon. If you want to watch me play some games, check out my Twitch channel. I'm live almost every day and I play something different almost every day. Of course with some Sparkingzero sprinkled here and there for flavor. Thanks for watching.